I think that calling yourself a self-taught guitarist is not only moot and stupid, but also outright dangerous to your guitar playing progress. And today, I'm going to show you why. Unless you're living at Point Nemo or some place like that, you have been influenced by other people the whole time you've been playing guitar. Even the salesperson who sold you your very first guitar in a music store, who told you about the features the guitar had you didn't even know existed, or educated you about one model of guitar versus another, even that person has taught you something.
The sustain, listen to it.
I'm not hearing anything.
You would, though, if it were playing.
And I'm not even talking about the very first time you asked somebody a question about anything guitar related, anything from how to tune the guitar, how to hold the pick, how to play the scale in more than one position. If you've ever done any of those things at any point in your guitar playing life, sorry, you've lost your self-taught virginity as a guitar player.
Oops.
Even if you so much as saw your favorite guitar player in concert and you observed the way he was bending strings or the way he was holding the pick that inspired you to change something about your playing, even that was a mini guitar lesson in and of itself that crafted your journey as a guitar player. Not to mention that you're watching this video right now to learn from me what exactly I mean when I say to guitar players, stop calling yourself self-taught. In fact, I'd argue even more that none of us are ever self-taught about anything. I mean, when was the last time you tried to learn how to do some brand new skill without first Googling to see how other people do it? But here's where it gets interesting. Even though I just said that nobody can claim to be self-taught in the literal sense of the word, nobody can also claim to not be self-taught either. Here's what I mean. Even if you have the world's best guitar teacher guiding you, teaching you all the right things and helping you avoid all mistakes and bad habits, you still have to practice and put in the work. No teacher is going to practice for you. So what does all of this mean? It simply means that calling yourself self-taught or not self-taught is stupid either way, because all of us have some parts of both. And all that matters is your guitar playing skill level today. And your guitar playing skill level today is just simply a medley of everything you've ever seen, heard, discovered, experienced, or observed in some way, shape, or form. And if you're unhappy with the way you play guitar today, then don't try to hide behind a label of you being self-taught or not self-taught. You've just simply been taught, as I like to say. Being self-taught, even though it's not really a literal term, is part of many guitar players' identity. And that identity prevents them from sometimes doing things that are in their best interest that would help them improve much faster. At the same time, if you've taken lessons in the past, then your teacher is not really fully to blame either, because it is on you to be self-reliant and self-responsible for your practicing and your progress. It's like the joke about the old man and the flood. First, there was a truck driving by and they asked the man to get on so they could take him to safety, and he said, no, 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 God will save me. Then there was a boat floating by, asked him to get on. He said, no, no, God will save me. Then there was a helicopter, threw down the ladder, asked him to grab on. He said, no, no, God will save me. Eventually he drowned, went to heaven, and the first thing he asked God was, dear God, I put so much faith in you. Why didn't you come to my rescue? And God just facepalmed himself and said, you idiot, who do you think sent you the truck, the boat, and the helicopter? Yeah, it's like that. Here's the thing. There are some people who are naturally talented, meaning they just instinctively do the right things in the right way when they practice. Those people don't need to pay anybody for lessons. They can just practice on their own and they can get by just fine with YouTube lessons or people answering their questions or whatever. They can just kind of figure it out on their own. They're still not really self-taught. They just have enough natural talent where they don't need to seek out somebody with a label guitar teacher on their shirt and give them money to tell them what to do. For most people, myself included, it makes more sense to find somebody who consistently cranks out good guitar players as their day job, pay that person money, and have that person teach you exactly what to do and how to do it and what not to do. It doesn't really matter which route you go down. What matters is getting to play guitar the way you want. And if doing what you were doing before isn't really working, at least be open-minded to consider doing something else and don't cling to a certain identity that's obviously not serving you. But whatever you do, don't call yourself self-taught while you spend time on online forums, YouTube comment sections, Reddit threads, or Facebook groups asking people who've never met you, never heard you play, couldn't care less about your progress, and for all you know, play even worse than you do, how you can play better.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, Tom.
I guess some people think that it's not guitar lessons if money doesn't change hands, and that allows them to feel good about asking people for free advice and then call themselves a self-taught guitar player at the same time, never mind the fact that their playing isn't improving. The funniest example of cognitive dissonance I've ever seen around this whole idea of being self-taught was a guitar column called How to Avoid Sucking as a Self-Taught Guitarist. And I couldn't decide what was more ironic, hundreds of guitar players pouring in to learn how to self-teach themselves. Think about the irony in that. And of course, the guitar teacher was genius for titling the column the way he did by attracting all of those guitar players who would normally not look for guitar lessons, but instead would feel compelled to get some tips on how to self-teach themselves better, because of course, that is completely different from taking lessons.
Genius, genius, genius!
And by the way, I used to be one of those guitar players clinging to my self-taught identity years ago, so I get a free pass for mocking these people a little bit because I'm mocking myself along the way. And when I started playing guitar at 14 years old, I wanted to be self-taught. I wanted to be known as a self-taught guitar player because Steve Clark from Def Leppard, who was my inspiration for wanting to pick up the guitar in the first place, was self-taught, or at least in the way I understood the term at the time. And it took me many years to realize that all that really matters is how well I played, and nobody really cared about how I learned, where I learned, or how I called myself, or how I saw myself. And that's when I started to be more open-minded about looking for people to help me with my playing, and that eventually snowballed to make me the guitar player and the teacher that I am today. So I'm making this video to help more guitar players avoid years of unnecessary frustration that I went through. Simply see yourself as a guitar player looking to get better. That's it. And use any means necessary to get where you want to go. And if you're talented enough to pick up things quickly and improve quickly without lessons, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. Or if that's not working for you, seek out somebody to help you. It doesn't have to be me, by the way. It could be whoever you want to study with. It doesn't matter. What matters is getting on the path that leads you to your goal. And if you want to sever all ties with the idea of being self-taught, check out my free video masterclass called Guitar Speed Formula. There I'll teach you a new way to build guitar speed that doesn't take a lot of time and helps you get faster without doing any slow practice. If you like the sound of that, hit the link in the description box of this video or go to the page that's on the screen right now, enter your email address and I'll send it to you for free. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell so you're notified every single time I upload new videos just like this for you. This is Mike Filipov, guitar practice expert from PracticeGuitarNow.com. I'll see you next time.